primeiras horas da noite não trouxeram alterações significativas. Com o tempo a manter-se excelente, tudo levava a crer que esta edição do Bol d'Or seria a mais rápida de sempre. E à passagem das 23 horas, a Honda número 111 mantinha-se no comando. Segundo lugar de novo para a Suzuki número 1 de Lavie, Reimer e Dorjex. Terceira posição, Kawasaki número 10 de Sébastien Scarnato, Erka Corpiao e Steve Plater. Quarta da geral, a Yamaha número 7 de Deletang, Lindholm e Forré. A R7, finalmente fiável e competitiva na resistência. E com 8 horas de corrida, a moto portuguesa tinha já ascendido ao 8º lugar, sendo a terceira melhor privada.
But then at around 11 o'clock, after over 8 hours, oil on the track caused a big crash at Beausset. 1:11, 10 and 2, all particularly wrapped up in that incident.
Passavam poucos minutos das 23 horas quando a calma que as sombras da noite tinham trazido foi subitamente quebrada pelas luzes de emergência do pace car. O óleo deixava...
Number 2, the Dafex of Bertrand Stay on 5th position came off, his bike badly damaged. Disappointment in the Honda pit. Front brake and electrical system damaged, the mechanics having to work hard on the bike. The number 3 Yamaha, Brian Morrison 6th before the multi-crash into the pits with damage to bell housing.
Na pista pelo rebentamento de um motor de uma das motos participantes tinha provocado uma queda coletiva. A linha das boxes era um verdadeiro quadro de misérias. Vítimas, algumas das motos favoritas. A líder da corrida foi uma delas. A reparação custaria 13 voltas e a Honda número 111 voltaria à pista na 11ª posição. Menos penalizada a Kawasaki número 10, que perdia apenas 5 voltas, mantendo o terceiro lugar. Mas a luta pela vitória estava seriamente comprometida. Outra vítima, a Honda número 2 do time Dafix, que seriamente danificada, ficaria na boxe por muito tempo. A completar o quadro negro das motos de fábrica, a Yamaha número 3 perdia na boxe 23 voltas. Nestas e noutras boxes, o quadro era desolador. À margem da hecatombe, a moto portuguesa parava na boxe. Com o pace car em pista, era o momento ideal para resolver alguns problemas. O depósito de gasolina foi finalmente substituído, o mesmo acontecendo com a bateria, que inesperadamente tinha perdido carga. Na operação, a equipa perdeu apenas 2 voltas. Grande beneficiada com a queda coletiva, a Suzuki oficial número 1 de Lavie, Reimer e Dorjex, que a partir de então passava para o comando da corrida, tendo atrás de si, na mesma volta, a Yamaha número 7 de Deletang, Lindholm e Forré. Ela também, bafejada pela fortuna de não ter sido vítima do óleo na pista. Entretanto, a Honda número 2 de Bertrand Stey, Juan-Éric Gomes e Vincent Philippe era retirada da boxe. Aparentemente a reparação estava completa, mas novas complicações surgiram. Foi tratado um problema no chassi e a moto seria de novo recolhida para meia hora depois ser anunciada a assistência. Simultaneamente, a Yamaha número 3 voltava à pista para ocupar então o 29º lugar da geral. E esta era a classificação quando o relógio marcava meia-noite e meia hora. Nos 6 primeiros lugares, 3 superbikes de fábrica e 3 privadas. A moto número 12 do time Suzuki Shell chegara já à 6ª posição, atrás das Kawasaki 94 e 35. Diz a voz sábia do povo que depois da tempestade vem a bonança. A primeira hora do domingo foi relativamente calma. A registrar apenas a distância da segunda Suzuki oficial, a número 4, em consequência de uma queda no final da reta Mistral. Um pouco antes de se completar a primeira metade da corrida, Telmo Pereira estava aos comandos da moto portuguesa. Tudo parecia correr.
1:11 left the pits, a leader before the incident, but now down to 12, 13 laps behind the new leader, number 1 Suzuki. The mechanics exhausted. Terry Reimer brought the lead Suzuki into the pits for refueling. All ready for a scrap with the number 7 Yamaha.
Rodar apenas com um farol aceso mostrava-se uma solução eficaz. Por isso, os mecânicos limitaram-se à substituição das pastilhas de travões, uma operação necessária quando a corrida entrava na segunda metade. E de corridas 12 horas e meia de prova, era oportuno fazer um balanço. Quando a aurora já era perceptível no azul mais claro do céu, um olhar sobre a boxe da Honda 111 permitiu registrar o momento final da sua participação no Ball d'Or deste ano. Problemas de aquecimento, após uma queda do inglês Jim Moody, evitavam o abandono. Igual destino tinha a Yamaha número 3, com Brian Morrison a chegar empurrado e a entrar diretamente na boxe. Apesar dos esforços dos mecânicos, o veredicto era abandonar. O relógio do circuito marcava 7 horas e 27 minutos. A temperatura era amena para aquela hora da manhã, 19 graus. Desde um pouco antes da meia-noite que os 6 primeiros lugares da corrida não sofriam alteração. Christian Lavier, Terry Reimer e Jean Dorgex mantinham-se firmes no comando. Uma volta à frente da Yamaha número 7 de Jean-Marc Villetank, Chris Lindholm e Fabien Forêt. A 5 voltas, a Kawasaki número 10 de Sébastien Scarnato, Erka Corpiao e Steve Plater rodava num sólido terceiro lugar.
This was what they wanted to win. They had a good chance of winning here, Russell, and decided, maybe rightly or wrongly, to pull the team from the track. Michel Suzuki, the outside chance, I suppose we can call it now, of Bruno Bonnet of taking a championship from a privateer standpoint. They're in 6th place. M&P phase 1, well, Russell, you've had major problems during the night. Well, not major problems, but a cascade. I've heard little rumours around that Moody doesn't particularly like riding at night because he can't see where he's going, but that didn't seem to be a factor here. Number 3 waiting for their man to come in. Morrison, McKenzie and Mark.
Quite often you don't even try, in that you have a replacement routine, and once you recognise the symptoms, it's often the best course of action to replace the lot or replace a subsection. So your question about diagnosis, you look at the symptoms and then match your subsystem replacement to the symptoms, but we can often get it wrong.
The theory is all well and good, it's just getting it right in practice.
Yes, absolutely right.
Number 1 machine, Johan Dorgex out on the leading Suzuki Castrol team at the moment. And he's not too far ahead. The leaderboards have just tripped over 500 laps now in 17.5 hours. The number 7 Yamaha Kawasaki in 10th place at 495 laps, so 5 laps down on the leaders. But it is really all about this team. It's Terry Reimer's team. Terry Reimer's in here. Both Terry Reimer and Johan Dorgex are on exactly the same points, on 72 points. They really have to keep this running.
The team manager's going to have to make is, does he want to win the Ball d'Or, or does he want to take it steady in the last 6 hours, ensure that they finish, issue orders to the riders to be conservative, and go for the championship? I'd have mixed feelings. The Ball d'Or is a very important race. It's the jewel in the crown of the European Championship or the World Championship, and he's going to have to play the right game.
Well, looking at some of the other teams as well, Motormax, number 60, who are actually in the pits next to you, Dave Hill, Ronnie Smith and Glenn Richards on the Yamaha R1. I didn't mention the female team particularly last year when they were in the pits and the garage door was open and I saw the bike there. I thought, oh, there must be a problem, and I ran over and I said, what's the problem? And he said, they've gone to sleep.
Yeah.
Went to bed. So I actually went to bed for 7 hours, and Dad actually came out on the bike, Mr. Shem.
Perhaps we've got 6 or 7 rears to go with, or 5 fronts, and we found a good combination, and it's worked in the temperatures that have been a little bit off the peaks of yesterday. Now, we've yet to see whether they remain competitive through this morning. We're rising up to 22, 23 at the moment, and expecting pushing 30 later on. So the Michelin showed themselves to be best in those high temperatures yesterday, but wanted to see how we go today.
Fabien Forêt there on the number 7 machine, just overrunning a corner just a little bit.
And pre-race preparation in terms of getting the right amount of sleep and the right amount of carbohydrate and other minerals is critical to your performance on the day. And something I've noticed, particularly this year, is the difference in professionalism between the French and the English riders. If you look at Plater and Hislop, they're absolutely fit as a fiddle. They must be working very, very hard to keep in that sort of shape. But quite a few of the top French riders are still carrying more weight than they should do. And I'm sure the fitness routine's not taken as seriously as maybe those British guys.
It has shown, I mean, the level of competition in the UK now. Johan Dorgex is on the number 1 Castrol Suzuki, which is out at the moment. It's Steve Plater on the number 10 machine, which you just saw go by. Well, the big Ducati blow up at the end of the Mistral straight during the night. Dumped a lot of oil on the track. There was talk of 15, 16 riders down there. Caused a major upset. How quickly is that surface cleared?
Well, last night it didn't seem to give any problems afterwards, but oh, nice piece of braking there. You can see how hard they're going.
Steve Plater is still doing the business here.
Yeah, it's great to see. Yeah, last night, that instant at the end of the Mistral, plenty of oil. It's horrible. You can't see it at night. Your headlamps pick up the glistening from it, and it's frightening. But the pace car was out for about 10 laps during that instant, and they did a lot of clearing up, and I'm glad to say there didn't seem to be many. And in fact, I don't know if it's public knowledge or not, but Steve was signed up, so to speak, with our team 3 weeks ago, and he got the call from TKF maybe 2 weeks ago, and naturally went in that direction, and nobody can blame him. He's enjoying himself.
It's rather obvious to put the front wheel on the end, look across and think, hey, look at this. Steve Plater getting a bit of a wiggle on, but currently in 3rd place and 4 laps down on the leaders. But to take the championship here along with Terry Reimer, that is Johan Dorjeks out at the moment. 1 lap, or we would say a little bit less than 1 lap, about 1 minute 30 seconds just ahead of the number 7 Yamaha. The Yamaha's not a threat for the championship. The only other threat for the championship is down in 6th place with the Suzuki Shell Portuguese bike and Bruno Bonoy. The number 11 machine currently in 9th place, 18 hours into the race.
Yeah, there's good race pace as well, ones. Really, the qualifying times are not that relevant to the race times. You're looking at coming back typically 2 seconds. That's the case for most of the private teams who are using semi-super bike.
It's got to hurt doing that time after time, and they've done over 511 laps now for the leaders.
Yeah, the Mistral.
Then in 4th place, Motorshop 35, who we were looking at, somebody has to get off that track quickly. He should not be there. Did you see what that was all about?
Well, picking up a piece of debris. I got mixed feelings about that. It's all too easy. This just isn't on. I'm fine on Superbike, but not on stock sport.
And one of the interesting little tricks I saw was the taking the wheel out and leaving the sprocket in place. That, we noticed a problem earlier on yesterday with.
On the Yamahas, yeah. It's a good way of changing the wheel. Instead of having a conventional wheel, where the sprocket is attached to the wheel and the disc is attached to the wheel, you can do it the other way around. You can attach the disc to a little stub axle on the swinging arm, the sprocket similarly, and then have a sort of a key drive or a male and female wedge drive, so you can remove the wheel, slam it into a pair of wedges, male and female wedges, that'll pick up the drive, thus leaving the sprocket and disc on this little stub axle. When we were riding Suzuka earlier this year, nearly all the Japanese bikes have got that system. The fastest wheel change you can possibly do, and there's no doubt that is a faster system than the more conventional one.
Heaven lies in the details. Terry Reimer out there on the number 1 Suzuki now. Good chance of winning here. But there's still quite a way to go. They've got 5 hours, 40 minutes to finish the Bol d'Or here. Terry Reimer doing what he set out to do, to concentrate on the Endurance Championship this year and win the championship. Terry Reimer and the number 1 Castrol Suzuki team still dominating this race. Still 5.5 hours left to go right here at the Bowl. The team, number 1, Castrol Suzuki, out in front, hoping to be there at the end of this race. It will have made Terry Reimer's